transition. For all those who feel some type of way about transitions, oh well. Baby girl is sitting in the stroller next to me. She's chilling, so if y'all hear her sporadically throughout this video, it is what it is. Shout out to my sissy for these earrings. These for the culture. These are in rose gold. They're super cute. They're super cute, like super cute. The link to these will be in the description box. Yeah, so today we're gonna do is it a story time pregnancy story? Is it considered story time? I don't know. But we're gonna do a story time about my pregnancy because, again, it was shocking to a whole bunch of people. Most of the people that I know were not aware in any way that I was pregnant. A lot of my family members didn't know. It's super windy out here. I have no idea if this wind is going to be in my video or not. I hope not, but can't really do much about it if it is. So I'm just have to figure that out. It's all types of nature sounds going on around me. My car is back here. But nonetheless, so that's what we're going to do today. So let's get to this. I don't know if y'all can hear whatever is going on over there too. Some people screaming. So, first off, disclaimer: you do not accidentally get pregnant at 29. Period. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. But nonetheless, you don't accidentally get pregnant at 29. I don't care what anybody says. You don't accidentally get pregnant at 29. Anybody who thinks I accidentally got pregnant at 29, didn't happen. As many people who know me know, I was always very marriage, then baby. That's been my entire life. I don't care about people who have babies outside of wedlock. I didn't care about people who had babies. I didn't care what people did. That didn't have anything to do with me. But for me, in my house, it was very much get married, have babies. So, you know, if you scroll back to that original FaceTime I did, that is the father of my child. And so, originally, he didn't seem that way, and we were very, like, the plan, was intentionally get pregnant and then get married before I had the baby. That was the plan. That was what was supposed to happen. Obviously, that didn't happen because he went crazy. Oh. Not even slightly. So nonetheless, the plan was intentionally got pregnant, get married before the baby's born. Like I said, that didn't happen. Whatever. So nonetheless, I found out I found out I was pregnant October 23rd, which is my sister's birthday, my baby girl Jillian's birthday. It's a lot of stuff that happens on October 23rd. But nonetheless, that's when I found out I was pregnant. If I have the pictures of my pregnancy test, I'm gonna insert them because it's hilarious. Because so what happened was that I didn't think I was pregnant. Like, we had been trying, but I didn't think I was pregnant. I was just like, I'm just having anxiety, like really bad anxiety, whatever, because I had like really bad flutters. And when you're first pregnant, you're not supposed to feel that. It was way too soon for me to be like, oh yeah, these flutters are pregnancy. Like, it was very much like, nope, these flutters are anxiety. I have really bad anxiety, so that's what this is. So I have flutters, so I took the pregnancy test to prove myself wrong. Like, to prove myself, like, girl, yeah, you have anxiety, you're not pregnant. So I took the first pregnancy test, pregnant. I think I waited the next day, took another one, pregnant. I waited a week, got a whole nother package of 2, took it, pregnant. The next one, pregnant. I think I waited another week and took another one, pregnant. So I took 5 pregnancy tests, okay? They all were positive, but I took 5 of them because I was just like, one was like, is this really, is it? Okay. And then, yeah, so I took 5 pregnancy tests, basically. So like I said, if I still have those pictures, I'll post. You'll see them somewhere. But yeah, I took 5 pregnancy tests. They all came back positive. I was probably 4 weeks pregnant at the time. I found out I was pregnant October 23rd. My first doctor's appointment at 6 weeks was I don't know, right before Thanksgiving, I want to say. Yeah, we know how Thanksgiving went. Found out things started going dramatically wrong from October to November, and then blew up in December. So originally it was like, oh, you know, we're not going to tell anyone because it's still early, you know, like let's wait until like the 3-month, 4-month mark where you're more than likely out of the clear. But where you're typically out of the clear, I mean, you're out of the danger zone. I'm gonna say that. I can't think right now. Don't judge me, because they're screaming danger zone for miscarriages and things like that. So I was like, let's hold off. I don't really want to tell anyone, you know, until we're out of that thing. I wasn't gonna reveal it to too many people anyway, just because like that's just me. Wasn't too many people gonna know anyway. But then when things started hitting the fan, I really decided to kind of recluse, because it was at that point, it was just like, I just want to enjoy my pregnancy. Like, this man has already made the first half of my pregnancy a living hell, so I just want to enjoy, you know, baby movements and kicks and whatnot, just by myself, not really dealing with anybody or anything asking me all these 97 questions about my baby, my uterus, my life, right? Like, I don't like that, period. So I really wasn't gonna like it pregnant, because I was actually a really nice pregnant person, I think, but I also wasn't really talking to nobody. January 1st, shit was a mess, but it is what it is. It happened. We're good now. So, well, I'm good. So, good January, good February. Baby was growing, all those things. Do I have any pictures when I was pregnant? Not too many, because I didn't look pregnant. Like, I had just got down to my goal weight. This ain't it. I'm gonna insert a picture of when I was at my goal weight. I had just got down to my goal weight. I was super geeked. I was super cute. And then I got pregnant. So I didn't get to experience my goal weight for too long. But nonetheless, I then ended up, because I had gotten so small, and had kind of trained my body to only eat when it was hungry and not to eat otherwise. When I got pregnant with Poppy, I literally blew up like the Michelin Man. Like, I went from my goal weight to like 40, 50 pounds heavier in like 2 months. Overall, I gained, I want to say 80, damn near, you know what, low-key, I might have gained 100 pounds during my pregnancy. But again, or I was close to 100, but a lot of it was water. I was retaining water like crazy, which is also why I gained so much weight. But I low-key gained probably 100 pounds during my pregnancy. And I dropped only 30 so far, so, which everyone was like, no, you don't look fat, you're pregnant. And I'm like, that's cool. I know, obviously, there's a baby growing in me, but I look fat. Like, I don't look pregnant. And I'm about to insert all these pictures that prove to y'all I didn't look pregnant. I did not look pregnant for real. Like, for real. Until, I think, week 39, day 1, like, right before I had her. And I'm going to insert that picture too, because that's when my stomach actually rounded out. All the rest of the time, my stomach was like this, like, just fat. But I'm going to get off that tangent. But nonetheless, so I didn't look pregnant at all. So it was easy for people not to know I was pregnant. So it was fine. People still saw me. I still took pictures on social media. I'll insert some of those. Follow me on Instagram. IAmAdriaRenee _. So I was 4 months pregnant on New Year's. Sorry, there's a gnat trying to get to my baby. I was 4 months pregnant on New Year's. I'll insert that picture. I look super cute on New Year's too, but I did not look 4 months pregnant. I not gained all this weight due to stress, and which again, the stress was not related to my pregnancy by any means. It was related to stupidity. Again, story time. I might put it in the cards up here. Otherwise, go check out that story time. It was related to that dumb foolishness. I was trying to move. My landlord was being a dick. I hated my job. I still low-key don't like my job, but it's not my job. I don't like the people, so to speak. But how I see it now, it's a blessing in disguise, because I work from home, and I'm working from home permanently now. But I work from home. I can be with my baby 24/7. I make a good amount of money, so I can afford to live. So that's a blessing, because the jobs that I was looking at were all pay cuts. They were all pay cuts, and had I not got pregnant, I may have taken them. But then at the same time, because I was trying to move, also I'm doing all these house tours. I fell at the end of my pregnancy, which my knee still has not recovered from, but the baby was fine. I just was jacked up. Going to a house tour, I fell in the house, and he kept contacting me like I was gonna move into this house that I just fell in. No. So nonetheless, that happened, but it's a blessing that I have the apartment that I live in now. Like it's a blessing. Like, there's nothing other than the old tend to be a trifling. There's nothing wrong with that apartment, which actually leads to why I'm sitting out here. So, I mean, other than it's a beautiful ass day in Chicago. But no, I had to leave my apartment this morning because I had to bond my apartment. Now, I feel like my landlord should have done it, and I probably could have asked him to do it, but I'm an independent woman, so I can do it myself. But I had to bond my apartment this morning because the old tenant was trifling, and so my lease ended on June 30th. I think I mentioned this in the closet storage reconstruct fail, I think. But if I didn't, I'm saying it now. My move out date, my lease ended at that last atrocious ass apartment June 30th. My lease started here July 1st. However, I went into labor on July 1st. So, which was plain. They wanted to induce me because I was dehydrated that day that I went to the hospital. I should have drank more water. They wouldn't have tried to induce me, but I was dehydrated, so my amniotic fluid was also low, so they wanted the baby to come out. Because my lease ended on June 30th, and I went to the doctor on June 30th, and they tried to keep me. Or I was at the hospital on June 30th, and they tried to keep me. And by the grace of God, because I had been dealing with all this moving crap this whole time during my pregnancy, I was basically like, y'all remember, like we discussed this, like I finally found a place. I'm finally moving, and I'm moving today. Like, I can't stay here. I cannot get admitted to the hospital today. So again, the nurse called my doctor. The doctor was like, you're right, we did discuss this. Okay, so you need to come back to the hospital tonight. I was supposed to go back to the hospital at 9 p.m. I didn't make it. I ended up at the hospital June 1st at 7 a.m. because I was still moving at 4 a.m. I was still moving at 4 a.m. on July 1st. So nonetheless, because of that, the old tenants didn't move out till 7. She didn't move out till 7. And I'm just like, okay. But the old tenant didn't move out till 7 o'clock on June 30th when her lease ended, which I guess she could. She was also pregnant. She was supposed to have moved out like 4 days prior to that, but she didn't, whatever. So she moved out super late, and I had to move in super late, which was unfortunate. But you know, it was a blessing I was able to move in. But the intent was she was gonna have moved out so that they could have cleaned up the apartment, so that I could have moved in June 30th before, you know, everything happened. Because my original due date was July 5th. So Poppy did really good for staying in as long as she did, and it was a blessing. Because had she come any other time, we would have been living out of a hotel, because I wasn't taking her to that trifling ass apartment I was living in. So because the tenant moved out so late, they weren't able to come in and clean. So then when they did come in and clean the next day, I wasn't there. I was at the hospital, and unfortunately, I feel like things didn't get cleaned the way that I would have wanted them to get clean. Because had I been there, I would have been like, can you do this? Can you get that? Like baseboards, things like that. So I need to clean all of my walls nonetheless. And I did a little bit of that over these last 2 days. So today, like probably, I don't know how long ago, because it doesn't matter. I'm supposed to be out for the rest of the day anyway. But I ended up bombing my apartment. I moved everything out the way, and then I set the bombs off because my landlord brought me the bombs. I just had to do it myself. So I bombed my apartment, which that was a doozy because I had to turn off my AC. I had to unplug the smoke detector, which that was rough.
My ceiling was super high, so yesterday was actually when I was trying to bomb my apartment. But couldn't because I couldn't reach the smoke detector at the top of the ceiling. I didn't have a ladder, so I had to go to Walmart, get a ladder, I got a ladder, two-step ladder, and then by the time I did all that, I didn't want to do anything else. And then somehow I let 4 flies to my house last night when I came in from being at Walmart out all day. I let 4 flies, had to kill all 4 of them. The last one tried the hell out of me. But that was a whole segue that was not necessary, but I'll probably leave it in here just because. So anyway, I had to bomb my apartment because they didn't clean the way that I wanted to, so I had like random mats and like ready for the random slides, which I brought in last night. There was fucking centipede that ran across my floor, and I was like, mind you, I was at work, so I had my headset on the call, and the baby in my arms, and I'm like, what? Like it literally started across the floor. Oh my god, I was freaking out. And what freaked me out even more, it wasn't the fact that it was, it freaked me out that it was there, but I understand that those are like common out here, but what freaked me out even more is the fact that I didn't kill it. So it was just around the house, and it disappeared. So I don't know where it disappeared. I'm really happy with the bombs that they gave me. Get into the cracks and crevices that you can't see, so hopefully it dies somewhere in my apartment. But yeah, so.
Anyway, so that's why I'm out here. Which I was gonna come out here anyway, but that's really more or less why I'm out here, because of the bombs. So that's reassuring for me, and then I'm gonna wipe down all my walls. I'm gonna start getting the apartment together like I want to get it together. I'm gonna put my curtains up. It's gonna be real cute, so be on the lookout for that, because I'm gonna record all that. I meant to record the cleanup process, but I was tired. I randomly got a jolt of energy and was like, yeah, let's go. So be on the lookout for my apartment tour. It's obviously not an empty apartment tour because the apartment was only empty when I moved in. And it was only empty for like 3.7 seconds because I got the keys. I think I went upstairs, did something, and then I came back, had to go get the U-Haul. I had to do a whole lot of stuff. So that whole situation was atrocious as hell. It was a lot. It was annoying. But nonetheless, yeah, so back to the story that we're actually supposed to be talking about.
His tail is really pretty. His tail, I love the boy or girl. His tail is really pretty. Oh, yeah.
So, fast forward. Got admitted to the hospital at July 1st at 7 a.m. I ate breakfast first before I went in because they weren't going to let me eat after that. And speaking to the lady, I just realized my baby is 8 weeks today. Which is true because she has a doctor's appointment on Thursday. So I officially have a 2-month-old. Oh snap, she's 2 months. You're 2 months, puppy. No, I'm slow. So nonetheless, I got admitted to the hospital. They hooked me up, did all that, whoop bam. So I didn't want an epidural. I didn't want any pain meds at all because I pride myself in having a very high pain tolerance. So I was like, okay. So I was like, no meds, no nothing. We're not doing that. We don't need that. My body was built for this, which is true. So got admitted at 7 a.m. I couldn't feel my contractions at all so I was in labor. They induced my labor, so it took a minute, and then the contractions started getting stronger, but again, I didn't feel them. I saw them on the screen, but, oh, it's a bee, get away from my baby. But I didn't feel them. So, nonetheless, the contractions kept getting stronger, still didn't feel them. So it was probably like 4 a.m. on July 2nd, is when they started getting stronger. They had checked me. I was 4 centimeters dilated. Not at 4 a.m. At like 9 o'clock that night. I was like 4 centimeters dilated, and I was like, all right.
So the next time they check me, I'm going to be fully dilated and ready to push.
So at 4 a.m. on July 2nd, my contractions had gotten really bad, but not like to the point where it was like, nope, can't do this. It was just like, oh, this is what they talking about. I bet. But you know, I had my breathing exercises down, wasn't nothing to it, because in my head, of course, like, you have to be realistic with yourself. So it's like, yeah, this is painful, but it's a contraction, so it's gonna go for so long and it's gonna stop. So you're gonna get a relief period. Now it might be short as hell, but you're gonna get a relief. So this is not going to last forever. So let me just breathe through this and we'll get through it. So that's pretty much how that happened. So at 4 a.m. my contractions were really, really bad. The lady, I guess she could see it on the monitor that they were really, really bad. And so she was like, do you want, you know, something to what did she say? Something to take the edge off. She said, do I want something to take the edge off? And I was like, at this point, I was like, sure. Because I believe they had checked me and I was still at 4 centimeters. But what the person said, whoever it was, I don't remember, I had a whole bunch of nurses. But what was said to me was, you're still at 4 centimeters, however, you're super tense, so we don't know if you're more dilated than that. And so, to me, in my head, that said,
No, you're 10 centimeters, but they can't check that.
but no, they hadn't checked me yet. She asked me if I wanted to take the edge off, and I said sure. They hadn't checked me yet. So after she gave me that, is when they checked me again, and I was still at a 4, and that's when I was like, and this was probably at like 7:15, 7 something, when they came and checked me again after the edge was taken off. And like I said, wasn't no edge taken off. So hold on, Poppy, we're almost done. So at 7 something, they came in, they checked me, I was still at a 4, and I was like, this is foolish. 7 something came in, checked me, I was still at a 4. At that point, I was like, this is stupid. I was like, this is dumb. Like, I'm still at a 4, and I'm in a lot of pain. So I still have to get 6 more centimeters before I can have this baby? No, I'm not gonna deal with this pain. Like, I'm not. It's fine. Like, I could do it, but I'm not. I refuse. Because in my head, I'm like, I'm at 10 centimeters. There's no way in hell that these contractions are 4 centimeter dilated contractions. There's no way in hell. So, needless to say, when they came back in, I think they asked me if I wanted the epidural, and I was like, yeah, because I'm still at a 4, and I don't want to I'm like, I might as well enjoy this and not be in pain right now. Like, it's stupid. I'm not doing this. So, hey, girl. Hey. Getting sleepy? Yeah, that look good, ain't it? Sorry. So I was at a 4. Remember, I was at a 4. At 7 something, I decided, let's do the epidural. So the first time he tried to give me the epidural, he missed. Mind you, I'm having contractions, strong ass contractions during all of this. So I'm like sitting there like this. So first time missed. So then I got a chance to kind of move a little bit because I had to wait for him to do it again. So the second time, got it. I want to say it took him like 30 minutes to do that. So let's say it was 7:15, right? So 30 minutes, 7:45. So he did it. I want to say I laid back. My lower body went numb a little bit, but it was really only my thighs. They went numb. And then if you've had a baby before you got your epidural, you know that they then put a catheter in because you can't feel anything. So it was, for safety, for, non-problems with your urinary tract. We put a catheter in. So they gave me the epidural. They went to put the catheter in, and for some reason, my nurse was like, let's check, like, let me check you real quick. And I was like, okay. Like, again, couldn't feel shit. So she checks me, right? She looks at me. I looked at her. Then she looked at another nurse. She was like, hey, can you come check her just to see if you're feeling what I'm feeling? And I'm looking at both of them like, and I dead ass said this. I was like, am I fully dilated? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, I knew this. Like, I knew this. So basically what happened is that 7:15, I said, hey, let's get the epidural. I was still at a 4. It took him about 30 minutes to put the epidural in to where I felt it. So 7:45, I couldn't feel shit. 10 minutes later, 7:55. It wasn't even 10 minutes. I don't know. It was probably like 3 to 7 minutes later. She checked me. I was fully dilated. So 7 minutes tops after I got this epidural, I was fully dilated, right? So then my baby was born at 8:07 a.m. Okay, she would have been born earlier, but they were prepared for the fact that I went from 4 centimeters to 10 centimeters in 10 minutes. They weren't prepared for that. So I was literally sitting there holding, just waiting. They're like, do you feel a lot of pressure? I'm like, yeah. So I'm just sitting there waiting for them to tell me I can push. My doctor wasn't there. She was on her way because they had to then call her, because at first it was oh no, she's fine, you know, it's gonna be a while, we just gave her the epidural, to, okay, so no, she's fully dilated and you need to get here. So I'm just sitting there waiting, like I got all this pressure, I can't push. I was laying there, the residents were standing in front of me, and they legit were like, hey, so we're just standing here. I think I said this in a video, or maybe I edited it out, but they were like, hey, we're just standing here just in case she comes out, like, you know, we're just here, you know, don't mind us, we're just here. So the nurse was like, hey, the next time you feel some pressure, you know, push. So I'm sitting there because I felt pressure, and I'm like, oh God, B, go away. I felt pressure, and I'm like, so I felt pressure, and I'm just like, no, go away, B. Oh my God. I felt pressure, and I waited because the nurse, I'm like, okay, I feel pressure, and she was like, oh, okay. So then a couple seconds later, they were finally ready. So I was like, okay, so when you feel pressure, push. So I literally pushed. I pushed once, and she came right out. And this is not what y'all think. It's because she was ready to come out. So she came out. She came out in maybe 1.5 pushes. She weighed 6 pounds, 1.25 ounces. She was born July 2nd, 2020. And her name is something, but we call her Poppy. She's named after my 2 sisters who both passed when I was younger. So yeah, I think that's all I got for y'all, because she's not finna let me do this too much longer. I don't really want to be out here with these damn bees, right? You're right. But she's super cute, y'all. She looks just like me. Unless, yeah, so that was pretty much it. I literally went to the hospital, was in labor for 24 hours pretty much, but I only felt it for probably the last 3 hours, and pushed once, and she was here. And we were in the hospital that day. My mom wasn't there, nobody was there. My doctor missed the delivery. She walked in as she was sitting on top of me, and because my water didn't break, she was still in the amniotic sac when I pushed her out. So like, they put her on me because I wanted to skin to skin. They put her on me, and I was like holding her like this because she was covered in stuff, and I was just like, it took them forever to wipe her down. So I'm just like, eh. But nonetheless, we were at the hospital the day she was born, and we left the next day. Yeah, she's not having it. So we're about to change locations. So as I said, I'm gonna do a apartment tour, but I'm gonna probably do it room by room, because I'm gonna start. I already figured out how I'm gonna do each room, so I just gotta do it. But COVID, you know, done put a halt on a lot of things. So nonetheless, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, comment down below anything you have any questions about, any concerns, comments, I don't know. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already subscribed, and be on the lookout for some more videos coming up. I got some ideas. My hair is actually out right now. I'm gonna wash it. I may or may not record that, I don't know. as you can see, my color is growing out, but I'm also getting my hair re-dyed a different color. Okay, 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 okay. You sure? You sure? Okay. So yeah, actually my stomach is growling, so we're gonna find some food. Here comes this damn bee again, so it's time to go. But yeah, give me a like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you like to. Anybody concerned, I don't know. Okay, girl. And again, as always, I am ADRIaRenee. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.